So I thought about this, just taking this time to really just reflect. I think about the way how God has been working in my life and going to Him in moments when I'm looking for answers and I got questions, especially when you're looking upon yourself and then it shows up to you, where it could be social media, um, like you just find yourself being in tune, where you just might turn channel on or something and it's something biblical, um, or you get to come across a post where it's like, go through those tough things that ask you what you need to overcome and step into. Like, I know a big one is communication, which is why like doing this is just really to get out my own way and go ahead and talk and engage. Just able to contact the people you need to contact, share information that you need to share, in addition to solve different problems that needs to be solved. Um, and as I'm here just thinking about what's happening here with Martin Luther King Day in Miami, simultaneously we got the change of power, the elections, and understanding all of this is essentially, you could say, a game where it's about what you're following, what you're leading, and then believing, right? Because something that just seemed really obvious to me with TikTok, like you discussed yesterday, where if this platform, which hosts a plethora, like it's enormous about how many people are on this platform using, let alone to say just the United States, right? And then to put this as a ploy of knowing, gets banned, reinstated, where it just appeals like good news for us as Americans in this country, where on the same token, we get upset and we know how upset when we see money that's sent off to Ukraine, Israel, a lot of these just international relations where you can have the conversation, and we're definitely gonna have it, where to know when the stuff's needed. But to think about the stuff that we do for our own people in our own country, our own citizens, no way, nowhere near, So it makes us really just look at this as what we've been doing, what we've been practicing, what we've been knowing, what we've been seeing. That's even for this past decade of knowing a lot of issues that we have here in the United States that we look within government for, that doesn't necessarily solve, or you don't have leadership or people who are going to speak up and talk about things that need to be solved. Or it's that being boldness, it's that, I don't even say a relationship with God, where you are able to know your purpose, your intention, how you're able to move accordingly with others, and like walk with faith, walk with gratitude, walk with understanding rather than fear. It took me time to even just come to that recognition and recollection, knowing that I told myself, Psalms 34 verse 4 is my favorite verse, of looking at it as, I sought the Lord and He delivered me through my fears. And how I like to translate it is, I asked the Lord to deliver me and He delivered me through my fears. And I'll be honest with you, like, it happened. It woke me up. It had me be able to understand different things that I now just have to communicate. I don't know, I like people are mind readers, I love to. But sometimes you just have that weight, right? Because I think about what we're able to see, what we're able to gather, what we're able to know, and then following that information to pass it on, to know, like, okay, let's set up meetings with our city council officials, our mayors, state reps, and know, like, yo, this is what we're going after. So we use your support with, especially with different federal grants that are out there, and now making this all come together with those different partnerships that allow us to see the change that we want. And as I look at this, I understand Martin Luther King. And I understand a lot of figures we know within Black history. It all, and this history itself too, but as we're walking into Black History Month, it comes from that belief and that guidance, that support, where you get people who are galvanized and they roll with you. You know, I think of what I learned from, the Black Power Institute. I had a meeting with Brian when sharing about being a vanguard, where you embody these signature pieces of yourself and you display it where it needs to be displayed. Sometimes it doesn't happen as you want. Sometimes it happens just by simply uploading a video and just allowing certain change to flow. And people who like to listen to you. And people who don't, they don't. Like, I think I had a bad, I don't even say bad, but hard-headed approach of wanting to save everybody. You know, you have this thing that comes from with Teach for America, I know, where you come in and like it's like you know something. You want to be able to provide it, especially showcase that to the students. But it's also a way of getting at, that approach where, I succeeded. I can see at the positives of, let's say, a course like math, algebra being the most failed subject nationwide, and I'm like, I could solve this thing and have this be the most successful subject nationwide. Now, that's a big problem that you're able to solve. And there's a lot of people who can probably attest to that, but they wouldn't know who you want to start it, unless you make it relatable. And that's why I made math relation, and I get to see, just that answer to the question, when am I ever going to use this in real life? And you make that connection. You showcase it where, you utilize different acronyms such as STEAM, which is upgrade from STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. But with STEAM, you incorporate the arts, our ability to create, our ability to think, our ability to imagine. And that's where the power lies, where you make those different connections. Just being able to imagine what's the solution to it. When you get your brain, your mind to start thinking and processing and stuff like this, where it allows you to just flow. Like there's no cover, there's no discouragement, especially when it starts from yourself. And breaking out of that part is encouraging, especially as you keep it routine and disciplined. And you allow yourself to just see, you allow yourself to navigate, you allow yourself to attract people who are also interested in doing their great thing like you. And we all have it, we all possess it. We think of this world like everybody can eat. I think greatly and heavy, especially here in Miami, I can know of, and I'm sure just nationwide too, where we look at communities and understand like this hustle, but it's like crab in a barrel mentality, or I gotta show, I gotta flex. Like we dissect it whatever way. And as you hear the song in the background, like we are one. I don't know if you can, but it's those different things that make us not a monolith, where we see the difference in ourselves and each other, where we all have our own unique name, we all have our own unique face, and just keep it like that, where we don't have to group and pigeon to find ways of knocking each other off, which goes within like this crab in a barrel mentality I'm coming to, right? Because you can have something simple as you can have a kid that's good at basketball, and on his team he might be the person that starts the lead of getting scholarships for players to come or schools to come to start recruiting and looking at himself, but the different talent of teammates, but also they got a program, you create a pipeline. And amongst this, you have this just snowball effect that's starting to, build up and, evolve. Where, let's say you're not interested in this one particular university, but that university now finds themselves interested in some other players, scouts. You build relationships with coaches, administration, team. And, further along, it could grow where there's players just in your neighboring area that might be interested in this opportunity. That might have been sought out through somebody else. Something simple as that. Like, we all can eat. Like, that one school was looking for one particular player, but now, if that player's no longer interested, you got the potential domino of neighboring schools, neighboring teams, neighboring players that might be interested in the spot or find themselves being recruited for the spot. Like, it's stuff just like that where you can pivot and swivel to a different direction where it allows you to just see the good. You see the growth rather than just fear of success, or rather than seeing yourself in whenever there's an obstacle, a challenge, we undermine ourselves. And being able to really go through it, talk from experience now too. You really kind of question yourself and answer, why did I do that? And for that failure, for that opportunity that you might not think you deserve or is worthy, when you know that, this is worthy, I got my name on it, and I think about this impact that's going to happen, it's such a whole mental and mindset shift, that you'll say, why did I not do this before? And if it was easy, we all would do it. But then we're able to break down those hurdles and know that we all have snowball effect again. So I'm going to share that and I'll dive into some more.